Alright, this is going to be a walkthrough of activity 14-4, exploring the default auditing settings. If you recall previously in in previous chapters, what is auditing? Auditing is just that recording when certain events happen or don't happen. And there are a few options we have. Particularly, it's about auditing access to certain objects. Failed login attempts, accessing certain things like that, or changes that are relevant, like making a security policy and making changes to GPOs. We want to track that as well. So, and that's set in the GPO. We're going to go ahead and start with number 1. We want to come up here to Administrative Tools, Active Directory Users and Computers. We're now over here looking at our current domain for our domain controller. And we want to explode it, and we want to come to our OU here, just like we had created previous OUs. This is just a built-in OU. The domain controllers, we want to right-click, and we want to say Properties, and we want to hit the Group Policy tab. And this is really our one and only policy that applies for this group. We want to double-click it, and that brings us back into our Group Policy Object Editor. Looking under Computer configuration, we're now looking at, for any of the domain controllers in this domain, which right now it's just one, but this was applied to any of the domain controllers. We want to say our Windows settings, and we want to come under our security settings. We want to come under our local policies, and we're going to check our audit policy. So we've just stepped down through 1 through 5, and now we want to look at our setting audit. It's actually the very first one: audit account login events. And this just tells us, for this event, when this event happens, we want it to record it. And what is that? Well, anytime someone has a successful login event, we could just easily say failure. So whether people succeeded to log in or did not, it doesn't matter. Always recording the successes may be good. It might be because you might have thousands of users. Those log files are going to get huge. You might be more interested in just knowing, when someone failed. But this is just as well, because this gives you a historical record of who logged in and when, to the domain controller at least, so to the domain. So looking back at the log, if you filter it properly, you could be able to track when a user logged in. And ideally it also recorded a little bit other information, the timestamp and the machine, or at least the node that they came up on. And this would likewise, if you wanted to set this, it would tell you only the times that the users failed to log in. Put in a wrong password, whatever. So we're going to cancel out that. Looking at the additional, let's see here, auditing system events, process tracking, policy change. Anytime someone makes a change to a policy, it'll record that. Object access, which could be, notice that it says no auditing because there are many objects, and anytime you access an object, it would be recorded. That's pretty much it. That is just a quick walkthrough of activity 14-4, exploring the default auditing settings for Windows 2003 Server via the Group Policy Object Editor.